First question.
All right. Are we, the Negroes, the Hebrew Israelites?
Oh, okay. Again, metaphorically, yeah, I would say so. And that's an entailed fucking explanation of how metaphorically we are. But as far as historically, there is no historical Hebrew Israelites. So in relationship to the organization or group that refers to itself as the Hebrew Israelites, no. There is no historical evidence to support or connect us to these so-called Hebrew Israelites. There are no so-called Hebrew Israelites of antiquity. Even the so-called Jews of the present are not descendant from these Hebrew Israelites. And you can show the disconnection between these so-called Hebrew Israelites and their so-called history and the actual historical timeline. So no, we are not literally the Hebrew Israelites, but we are, because there is no literal Hebrew Israelite, but we do fulfill the metaphor of the Hebrew Israelite. Now, what's the next question?
Okay. Next question. Are we really cursed by Israel?
There is no historical Israel, so no. I mean, short answer, no. That there is no. You can't prove a historical figure that exists that goes by this name. However, I would again mimetically say that okay, if you want to look at a mimetic curse, then we have a mimetic curse, and that we could break that mimetic curse by way of attaining higher psychological, attaining higher group psychological health, based upon the fact that we have this unhealthy state of group psychology. So no, we're not cursed though. That's the short answer. Back to the short answer. No, we're not cursed. There's no historical figure named Yazriel. And as far as that name is concerned, it's the only name in antiquity that has any bearing in relationship to Hebrew or Israelite is the Israelite, and that was in relationship to describing the so-called Phoenician Samaritans, or the Panut, or the Punic, so or the Tefnut, which is also the Egyptian word or Coptic word for phoenix. So again, no. Next question. Yeah.
Are the South Americans, the brown-skinned people, cursed as well, but by Canaanite?
Again, there's no Canaanite. I mean, that's a mythology in which was adapted by the Tigrinian inhabitants of Canaan at the time, after they were released from exile by the Persians, based upon a shared ethnic agenda. And this this book and all of the information in it is the result of a psychiatric therapeutic treatment for these people who had suffered group trauma. But again, that's
a group metaphor that they could adapt.
A group metaphor that they could adapt. Yes. The Tawadu, the Tigrinians, of the region at the time of the land of Cain, or the land of Canaan. Yes. Next question.
Okay. Are we really supposed to be following the Torah?
Again, the Torah is a antiquated neuropsychiatric therapeutic tool that is not, what's the word I'm looking for?
Relevant?
Relevant, there you go. Relevant to our time. And so, no, we need to find more relevant value systems for the 21st century that can find their roots in some of the Torah suggested ideology that's still, practical for the 21st century, but for the most part, no.
Okay. Are we the real Jews? If so, how are we arriving at that idea?
We're not the real Jews. I mean, what is a real Jew? The real Jew are the Tawadu, for the most part, the inhabitants of modern day Ethiopia, Sudan, Eritrea, is that what I was?
Eritrea.
Eritrea. and primarily Northeast Africa. So no, we can't be those people. We are the people that we are. And I mean, there's a long history or a long record to determine that we have been in North America for a period of time. There's scholarship to support that we've been here for a period of time, that we share a common ancestry with Africans who migrated from North, East, and West Africa to Southwest Africa, and then eventually were brought into the slave trade. But even before that, over a period of time, migrated to the United States. I mean, migrated to North America and established settlements in North America. But no, we are not the Jews. But again, metaphorically, because there's no literal Jew, but metaphorically, yeah, we're the Jew. We're the Hebrew, we're the chosen people of God in relationship to, and how we derive to the fact that we're the chosen people of God is more so through the teachings of Elijah Muhammad than through the teachings of the so-called Hebrew Israelite. And I can get more involved in that if those questions arise. But no, there's no literal Jews, so we can't be literal Jews, so therefore, Okay, next question.
Okay, is the Archangel Michael the presence of Yah?
See, again, these are like I mean, they're good questions, and metaphorically, yes. I mean, that's where the Jehovah Witnesses derive their idea in relationship to Yahweh and Yahshua, and to Michael. So again, metaphorically, the archangel angel Michael, the symbol of justice, that is likened to that of Christ. So once you awaken the Christ within yourself, you awaken the archangel angel Michael within self. Okay, next question.
Okay. On the curses in Deuteronomy, a preacher in NYC arrived at this concept that we're the Hebrew Israelites, but it was never accepted by any Jewish synagogue or rabbis.
Now, you can't expect Kazakhs to accept anything that supports our validity as being, what I'm saying, who they say that they are, being the chosen of God. Now, my interpretation of what God is entirely different than the Hebrew Israelites, but I still see the Deuteronomy 28 metaphor or literature as us fulfilling the metaphor. I mean, it's actually kind of like, for me, still to this day, and I learned that when I was 17 years old, and I've pretty much gone through the Bible and like vetted it to the point like I'm like, oh wow, this is all made up. But then it has these metaphorical representations that we fulfill, and Deuteronomy 28 is definitely one of them. You can't escape it. I mean, it describes our condition too perfectly. So again, like if you go into the teachings of Elijah Muhammad, he says that both the Bible and the Quran are not are not historical tellings. They're foretellings of things that will happen in the future, and that's what I feel about in relationship to Deuteronomy 28. And we need to have our own autonomous scholarship in order to support that. And there's evidence within the scholarship that this is not a literal manifestation of some past people. It is a foretelling of some future people, and we fulfill the metaphor of those future people.
That's it.
Yeah, okay.
Do you want to give